Okay, good morning everyone. I just wanted to go through and show you guys everything so there won't be any questions today. So when you first log in, it'll either be this screen or it will already be on the internet. If it's not on the internet, you click the Google Chrome and the internet will pop up. Up here, when I talk about websites that I've bookmarked, those are all up here under the search bar. So the first thing when you log in every single day, I need you to have your kids click on Gmail. They need to stay logged into Gmail because down here, I will be able to chat with them if I need to. So that will pop up on the internet, probably over here with a chat if I'm trying to talk to them. But if you could keep that open the whole time, then in order to keep that open, you're just going to press the plus tab. Every morning, you're going to find what you need under Google Classroom. So you will click Google Classroom. This you will also probably keep up the whole time. Once you're in here, you're going to click Classwork. This brings you to this page right here. This will have everything that I have posted. So if you need the 5-finger retail, I have a whole area just for anchor charts. So any of the anchor charts we've used. This week we're going to be using both of these teen number anchor charts. This is all of our anchor charts for reading that we're going to be using. And here's our 5-finger retail anchor chart. Down here in writing, I have a list of all the popcorn words. I have success criteria for writing. And I have the word wall, a picture of the word wall if they need it. Then in math, the daily counting routine. So everything that they need as far as like anchor charts are here in Google Classroom. Each day you will find the date with an assignment up here. So you press the one with today's date and then you will click down here again and it will pull up the slides for today. So you need to go through and read each one with them and make sure when you are on each slide that you click on every single link. So you'll read it to them and I'm going to show you guys. Reading. Today you are going to, 1, listen to me read Goldalicious and explain the entire 5-finger retail. So you will click here. And it will pop up with a video of me reading that. Once they're done listening to that, I would recommend that you close out of this because you're going to end up with a lot of tabs open if you don't. So then you go back to the PowerPoint. You always have to go back to this. So you did 1, you listened to me read Goldalicious. Now you need to do 2. Go back over the 5-finger retail anchor chart. So you can click on that and go over. You have to click on it again. Go over the anchor chart with them. So that pops up. Again, I would close out of it because you're going to end up with a ton of tabs open. You could maybe keep it open while you're working on that if you need to. Every time you open a link, you have to come back to the PowerPoint. So then you're going to do 3. Click on the link below and do the 5-finger retail activity. So you'll click here. And this will bring you to Seesaw. This is why I was trying to get you guys used to Seesaw over the weekend. So it tells you to do the 5-finger retail activity. So you would do that, but you would click add a response to do it. And then you have to make sure that they save it afterwards. So then when you're done, close out again. Then you have now done all of the reading slides. So you would go to this slide. This is Raz Kids. So you need to log into your Raz Kids account, read for 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure that you do all of the following. You need to make sure that your kids get this green check mark next to every single book. So that means that they have listened to it, that they've read it, and that they've taken the quiz. If it looks like this with 1 blank, I won't accept that because they have to do all of it in order to move on to the next book. So then they click Raz Kids. If it pops up and it doesn't have my login, it's Kay Von Dune 0. But they all know how to log in from here. So they do their Raz Kids for 15 to 20 minutes and they close out of there. And then they go to the next slide. Popcorn word practice. So I wrote that I need them to do 1 page front and back of the popcorn word worksheets that I mailed And this here is a picture of the first one they're supposed to do. They need to do the do worksheet today. And then I said once they finish, I want them to practice all of their popcorn words. If they don't have their popcorn words, I put a link to bring up all the popcorn words. This is also giving you what the next list will be because I haven't been able to send it home with you. They need to know all of these words by the time they are done with kindergarten. So it's important that you make flashcards or do whatever you need to do so that they learn these words. So then if you need that, it's there, but you go back to here. So now you do the next slide. This is writing. And I want to clarify a few things with you guys. So the whole reason we are doing what we're doing in writing right now is to inform our readers about a topic. So this week we're writing about sea turtles instead. They need to do every single one of these steps each day. So first they're going to listen to me read about what sea turtles look like. So you click this. You watch the video. You can close out or keep it open while you're working on it. Go back here, you do the second one. Use this link with the anchor chart. So you open this up, and it gives you the anchor chart, what sea turtles look like. So then I would keep that one open while they're working on it because then they need to use their what blank look like paper that I sent in the mail. They have to write 3 sentences. And when I tell them they have to write 3 sentences, they need to include the main idea, which is sea turtles, in every single sentence and a detail about that. They know this. We've been practicing this. And it also says on their success criteria, they had one of these I originally sent home with all of them. So I use correct upper and lowercase letters. That means that they started every sentence with an uppercase, that all of their letters throughout their paper are written correctly. There aren't any lowercase, or there aren't any capital letters where they're not supposed to be. There aren't any letters that are backwards or written on the lines correctly. They know what that means. And then I use ending punctuation. Every single one of their sentences ends with a period. I use finger spaces, so they put a space between every single word. I spell popcorn words correctly. They know to check the word wall. That's why I had posted that, so that they can check their words if they need to. My picture uses factual details. So if we're one day writing about what sea turtles eat, I'm not just going to draw a picture of a sea turtle in water. I'm going to draw a picture of it eating what it eats, because the picture has to have factual details about what I wrote about. I have 3 or more sentences. My sentences have a main idea and a factual detail. Every single sentence needs to say sea turtles, blah, 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 not they or anything like that, because if someone just read that one sentence, would they know what they means? So that is what I'm really trying to get through to them. And they need to be able to read their writing aloud. So each day, they need to check their success criteria when they're done. I posted a video of an example of my writing, and this explains it even better, but I would tell them to look at this every day, because I didn't write sea turtles at the beginning of every single sentence. I just made sure that I had sea turtles in each of my sentences. So that is so you guys can look at all of those things. But I wanted to make it as clear as possible so that you guys weren't confused at all. Your kids do know this, and they know what's expected of them. Then you would click on the math one. You would go through this, make sure that you read anything that's posted on here. But so first you're going to go through and do the counting routine. This is so important. It shows me how many views it's had. And when people aren't viewing this and doing this, the kids aren't getting what they need. Your kid has got to be able to count to 100 by the time they go to first grade. It's so important that they do this with me every day. They also need to be able to recognize all these numbers out of order. So it's super important that they're getting this repetition of counting. So you're going to go through, you're going to pull up this video. They need to count and follow along with me as I'm counting. So they can even use their finger, and they can point as I'm doing it. But it's super, super important that they're doing this.
I want you to
So once they do that, that's the first thing they're gonna do each day. Then you go here and you do 2. You're gonna review these team number anchor charts. So I posted, we have already learned about these, but you can go back over these with them. And you can explain to them all of these. The biggest thing I need kids to remember is that every team number starts with a 1, but that 1 doesn't stand for 1. It stands for your group of 10. So you're going to review both of those anchor charts. There's 2 different links here. And then last, it says you're going to do the first page of the blue packet that I mailed. So the first page had these little squares on it. So what you're going to do is have them cut them out, and then they have to play a memory game with that. I would play that for a little while so that they can, if you want, play it more than once, but it's really good for them to get those team number equations with the memory game. And then they're finished. Now I did write on here, make sure that on top of everything you just did here, that they are still reading with you every night, reading with or to you every night for 15 to 20 minutes. I cannot stress enough how important reading with them is, but not only that, they're missing quite a bit not being at school right now, and it's so important that they still have you guys doing this with them every night so that they're where they need to be when they come back. Thank you guys for everything. I'm sorry that was such a long video, but I promise it's going to help in the long run.